All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are unpacking an idea so powerful it can literally reshape your life. And it all comes from the incredible international bestseller, Atomic Habits. So, let me ask you something. Are you trying to change your life? Get healthier, be more productive, maybe finally learn that new skill? We've all been there, right? And what's the number one piece of advice we've all been given our entire lives? Think big. Set those huge, hairy, audacious goals. Go big or go home. Sound familiar? But what if I told you that's not just wrong, but it might actually be the worst advice you could possibly follow? What if thinking big is the very thing that's been sabotaging your success all along? Yeah, you heard that right. The problem isn't your drive. It's not that you're lazy. The problem is the method itself. Thinking big, as it turns out, often sets us up for a spectacular failure. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at that big goals column. It's all about pressure. It feels completely overwhelming, which of course leads to burnout and, you guessed it, giving up. But then look at the other side. Small decisions. These little steps are sustainable. They're actually achievable. And here's the magic part. Every tiny win builds momentum, creating this awesome positive feedback loop that just keeps you going. So if these giant goals are the problem, what in the world is the solution? Well, it's this beautifully simple and kind of counterintuitive idea. We have to embrace the power of the small. Habits expert James Clear discovered that real, lasting change comes from actions that sound, well, almost laughably small. We're talking about doing just 2 push-ups a day, waking up only 5 minutes earlier, making one quick phone call. The secret is that it's so incredibly simple, it's almost impossible to say no to. And here is the absolute key to understanding all of this. It's not about any single action. It's the compound effect. It's like compound interest for your life. These tiny, good decisions stack on top of each other day after day until they grow into these remarkable, almost unbelievable results. And that brings us right to the heart of the matter. James Clear has a name for these tiny, super powerful actions. He calls them atomic habits. Okay, so let's break down that definition. An atomic habit is a small, easy routine. But think about that word atomic. It's perfect because it means 2 things. 1, it's tiny, like an atom. But 2, it's also the source of immense energy, like an atomic explosion. These little habits are the fundamental building blocks of massive change. And this whole idea is the foundation of his incredible book, Atomic Habits. There's a reason it became a global phenomenon. It gives you a proven, practical system for making tiny changes that deliver huge results. And that goes for building good habits, and maybe even more importantly, for finally breaking the bad ones. Okay, so the theory is fantastic. But how do you actually do it? How does it work in the real world? Well, the book is packed with a practical toolkit, and we're going to look at a few of the most powerful life hacks you can start using, like today. Here are 3 of my favorites. First, habit stacking. You just attach a new habit to one you already have. For instance, after I brush my teeth, I will do 2 push-ups. So simple. Second, the 2-minute rule. Whatever your new goal is, shrink it down so it takes less than 2 minutes. Read more becomes read 1 page. And third, the Goldilocks zone. You want to find habits that are not too hard, not too easy, but just right to keep you engaged and feeling successful. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Mark Manson, the guy who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, calls it a supremely practical and useful book. And that's the key word right there, practical. This is stuff that actually works. And then you've got Adam Grant, another powerhouse author, who calls it the guide you need to break bad routines and make good ones. The credibility behind the system is just off the charts, backed by some of the smartest people in productivity and psychology. So you start making these tiny changes. You use these simple tools. What's the end game? What's the real payoff? Well, it's not small, not at all. It's revolutionary. The whole promise of this system, the reason millions of people are talking about it, is that these small, consistent efforts don't just lead to little improvements. They add up to a complete and total transformation. A revolutionary effect on your career as you become more focused and productive. A revolutionary effect on your relationships, built on small, consistent acts of kindness and attention. And ultimately, it creates a revolutionary effect for your entire life. That's the core message. By focusing on being just 1% better, you end up achieving everything you ever wanted.
So, I'll leave you with this one. Simple question. Forget the giant, overwhelming goal for a second. Just put it aside. What is the one tiny atomic change that you are going to start today?